Hello fellow Spartans, WarriorofSparta here and welcome to my second Let's Play for Total War Rome 2. And yes, we're going as Rome, yeah. It wouldn't be right if we didn't. You know, obviously the game's Rome 2 Total War, so we have to go as Rome, don't we, I think. And the fact that I love playing as Rome as well, that I think they're a great faction to play with. They offer so much variety in terms of units and as well, the fact you can recruit auxiliary units as well across your conquered lands makes it a much more exciting game to play. It offers a lot of variety to play with, really. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one very much so. Hopefully the fact I've played the game already on my own with Rome will give me a bit of experience. We'll know what to expect at the early stages. So hopefully that will come across in the Let's Play as we go on. So yeah, just a quick intro again about the faction and what the penalties and bonuses that it has to offer. So we've got if you are Rome and any of the houses within Rome, you will get the +1 experience rank for Roman infantry units. So that's good to see already. The bread and circuses +1 food in all provinces. Well, that is great as well because it can get quite tricky. Your food management can if you don't keep on top of it. So that's good to see that we can have a helping hand with that. And then with us choosing, well, I haven't said that to you yet. Obviously, the fact we're choosing Julia is, again, I think we have to do that with them being the House of Julia and the House of Julius Caesar as well. So hopefully we'll be able to recruit him in the game near the as the turns go on and we get around that sort of 80, 70 BC mark. Hopefully we'll be able to recruit him as a general of Rome, so it'd be good to have him on the campaign map, I'm sure. So yeah, because we've chosen the Julii faction, we have got Romanization +4 to cultural conversion, which is a big plus because only Rome have got the Latin culture. Them and the Etruscan League have got the Latin culture, I think, in the game. So when you do take over these conquered lands, it is very hard in the initial stages to keep converting them. You'll find there's a lot of unrest in the settlements, a lot of rebellions possibly. So having that help with cultural conversion is a massive boost. But then on the back of that, we have the cultural oppressors penalty, which does cause me a lot of issues. Expect to see a lot of rebellions in this Let's Play, guys, because of this problem we've got with the cultural oppressors. Plus 25% public order penalty due to the presence of foreign cultures. So when we're taking over our barbarian hordes to the north and our Greeks to the east, expect some resistance, shall we say. So that will be quite tricky to manage, I'm sure. And then we've got barbarian subduers, 10% morale during battles against the barbarian tribes. So yeah, that would be great because they are tricky when you fight the barbarians. They are quite tricky customers, I tell you. They do fight in large numbers, and most of the time you'll find that you are outnumbered by them. So the battles are tough and are quite long-winded. So the fact we've got 10% morale during them is an added bonus, which is much needed. For sure. So that's it. So that's the Julii house, or the House of Julia, and the Roman faction and their pluses and the minuses there. Of course, again, very hard game difficulty because it offers a nice little challenge to me as a player there. It's very hard, so I like to see the AI being as aggressive as they can. So yeah, that's it. So we'll get straight into it. Start the campaign off now. So I will see you once the loading screen has finished, and I will let you let you look at the intro, and then we'll start the game from there. So I'll see you in a minute.
You are at war with the Etruscan League. March north and capture their territories. This will allow you to consolidate Italia and ensure the safety of Roma. You must wage war if you hope to extend your dominion. Syracuse and Carthage own territory in Magna Graecia, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they may prove useful allies against Etruria or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph.
Indeed we shall. Rome will triumph, and the birth of the Empire, I'm sure, we will rekindle once more on this game. So yeah, I think, you know, the guy, our advisor there, maybe Lucius Libo actually, our faction leader, has rightly said we must take the Etruscan League before they become a major threat. So, my plan of attack for you, gentlemen and ladies, is to march north and take the Etruscan League from Valathri, then immediately go east, take Arminium. That then secures the Italian region for ourselves, secures that as a province, and then it takes the Etruscan League away from us, the threat of them away from us in the northern part of Italy, and it just remains their province or their town in Alia. Once we take Alia, hopefully, I'm saying this with confidence. I hope this is going to be the case. Once we take Alia, that is it. They will be gone and wiped out, because the sooner we wipe them out, the better. Because if we don't and we let them lie, they will become a massive threat too early on. Because we will have enough to worry about, I'm sure, from these guys, the Carthaginians. We all know about the Carthaginians in this game. The Punic Wars, I'm sure, will begin as we start to play this game, and we'll find them a very big threat. What I need to do is rely on these guys, the Syracuse, or Syracuse. I need to rely on them to either declare war on them and then use them as a distraction. If I can use these as a distraction against the Carthaginians, then hopefully that will give me enough time to destroy these guys, destroy the Etruscan League, and then move south and take Carthage for my own. Because I know that you need to have as much as you can behind you to take the Carthaginians out, because they do, if they're left alone, they do become again a major issue to us. So hopefully I'm allowed to stay on these guys to give them a bit of a distraction and hold them off for a short period of time. Okay, so we have two regions. We have Roma and we have Neapolis in the Italian province, and then we have Constantia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, with Bundisium as well in the Magna Graecia province. Now, what I'm going to try and do for you, and I think this works for me, if you think otherwise, please comment and tell me. I'm going to try and use the Italian province as my capital culture, the culture of the known world, and have it whereby within the especially Rome itself, we have the great cultural buildings, the Pantheon and gladiators, the Colosseum itself. Make it as historically accurate as we can with that, and have this as my sort of province where culture is high and rich, and where food is produced at a good rate as well, which will support my armies and my growth as we expand. So I'm going to try and use that Italian province to do that, and also obviously have an income stash from there as well, like your harbours and things like that, hopefully. And then my Magna Graecia region down here, and possibly if I take Corsica as well up here, is I have this as my sort of military factory where I'll produce all my armies from here, have my barracks here, my workshops, my shield makers, etc. So from in this province here, I will produce my armies, and they will send them out to battle, north, south, east, wherever they need to go. But this will be my war factory province from down here. Okay, and of course it's good to have them here because they'll have a direct influence on Carthage and all these African tribes, which we'll sure will start to meet as time goes on. Okay, so enough talking for me with that then. So what we'll do now is we'll look at the armies we've got. So we've got the Legio 1 Italica. Now, on my own game, I did change this Legion. It's a bit of a little role play for me I like to do. And I'll do for this Let's Play if you want me to change it. And if you want me to give any of the armies names that you want me to come up with, then put them in the comments below and I will change them for you guys. But I'm going to call this the Julia Italica Legion. So the first Legion, the Julia Italica Legion. So it's basically the Julian's family's own personal legion. So any leader of the Julia faction, and hopefully as time goes on when we could become an empire, hopefully that obviously our emperor, this will be his own personal legion. Obviously at the moment Julius Libo is our faction leader and he's in charge of the first legion, so any future faction leaders will come straight into this Julia Italica Legion as our own personal legion. So I named that the Legio 1 Julia Italica. And then our second legion, which is in general is Scipio, we'll name this the Roma Victrix, which is also what I named on my own single player version, which is basically, it says Rome Victorious, Roma Victrix. So that's all that means. So I like that name. So if we change it to that, again, if you want me to change them, I will do, no problem. Let's change the emblems as well. Put that to, there we go, eagle with the wreath around it, and then we'll put this one to just the imperial eagle itself on its own. So there we go, there it is. Lovely. Okay, so we'll move this army north to the border. This is where we're going to obviously attack Velasri. This is the army we'll take to do that. We'll recruit 3 units of Astati, so they'll be ready next turn to improve our strength in the army. We'll now take this spy north to try and put a dent in their military army and dent in their numbers. So see what happens with this, hopefully a positive outcome. Yes, good stuff, well done. So that's made a nice little dent in them, and she's already ranked up, which is good to see. So we'll give her the agent, I'm going to give her the agent trait, because this gives her +5 critical success in all actions and +1 in the authority tree. So well, that will definitely help her with her missions as she goes on. We're going to build here a consecrated ground, because I want to obviously go and build the Pantheon as it goes on, so we need to have that built in Roma. I'm going to destroy this one because of that, and then I'll just replace that with a farm to get us going there with food income. I'm going to get rid of these 2 units because it's not really worthwhile. Just expand them so we can get more income per turn from the reduction in wage to the units. I'm going to put these at Neapolis, and then when we're ready to attack Alia, I'll use this fleet as a supporting unit when we dock at Alia. I'm going to bring the 2nd Legion north, and they will start to, when they're in the Italia province, I'll start to get a few more units in the army, and then we'll attack north and take Arminium. From well, basically we'll use them as a supporting unit to these once we've taken Valathri and then gone east. So we'll hopefully overwhelm them at Arminium. And then at Constantia, I can't pronounce that, Constantia. If you know how it's spelt, please tell me phonetically in the description, so the link below, because I will need to, sorry, in the comments below I should say, and I will hopefully pronounce it better going forward. So we'll build a field of Mars here to get our barracks going, and then from within here we will need to build another consecrated ground. We'll do that next turn. Hopefully slums don't appear now, since I've just opened up that construction site, which will be a pain if you do, but never mind. I thought I had enough money actually. But yes, we'll need to do a consecrated ground here because of the fact that Magna Graecia is covered with both ourselves here, the Syracuse, and Lilybaeum, which is obviously in charge of by Carthage. So this basically has an effect on the cultures. We've got 50% us, but then we've got 30% Hellenic, and then 20% Punic. So there is already a -9 public order penalty from cultural differences. So if we can get a consecrated ground going and build that up, hopefully that will go down, the Latin culture will go up, and then the penalty will reduce. Because if we don't monitor this, and this is what I was saying to you at the beginning of the campaign before we even started, you know, the cultural differences are a big player with Rome, and it can cause a lot of issues. So if we can try and nail that now, we won't see any rebellions, hopefully, as we go on. So that's how we'll play those with the provinces there. Technology will do the supply forms to start with, which will give us the 50% ammunition for missile units, and it enables us the building of the auxiliary camps, which will be very helpful as we start to expand, as I say, into other territories. And let's just go into the diplomacy before we end the turn. And our friends the RDI, I know these guys I can always trust to deliver the goods, so I know they'll be very friendly with me, so let's get them going.
Be welcome. If I can give you a fair answer, you will have it.
There we go, thank you very much.
Your proposal has merit for
and
my
let's see if we can offer a trade with you. Lovely. You can always rely on the RDI, be very friendly.
Joy to my heart,
and
be
hopefully,
welcome here,
and hopefully as well, once we've actually secured the RDI, hopefully as a defensive alliance with these guys here, which I think they're called the De Horse or something like that. If we can secure those both as military allies or defensive allies, that will then produce a buffer for us and protect us from the enemies from beyond. And then we can concentrate going north and possibly obviously south and so on, because then we don't have to worry about this eastern flank here. These guys, the Dalmate, I think it is. Yeah, the Dalmate. They don't tend to like these two here, so no doubt eventually these will actually declare war on each other, and we'll have either the Hosse or the RDI taking this settlement, so they won't prove a threat to us either. So that's good to see that they will hopefully do that in the near future. Athens, let's try and see what we can do with Athens. Hopefully they'll sort of come to an agreement, probably with non-aggression pact to start with.
I am honoured to receive this embassy.
No, okay, let me start you some
we
coin.
We will not agree. A trireme must have but one steersman. We must sail.
Yes.
Now we can drink
money talks,
and give
doesn't it, Athens? Money
Dionysus
talks.
For the wine. We have agreement.
The power of coin.
For the sake of friendship that has been and friendship to
come. Good. That's because they did that then because he knew that I had a treaty with Athens. So I was playing him off with each other. So that's good to see that was working nicely. That's the beauty of diplomacy on this. You play one faction off against another, and that's how it seems to work. And I like that part of this game. I do really like that part.
Be welcome.
So see if you will accept trade now. No. We'll try you again probably next turn and see what happens. But apart from them, we'll leave it now. We've got trade with the Syracuse as well, which is good. Obviously, Epirus are still annoyed with me from the previous war they had with us a few years before this game was before this game started. So they won't be on good terms. Hopefully, Sparta and Athens will wipe them out, like I'm going to be doing in my Spartan campaign. So hopefully they will be destroyed soon. And then we've got Carthage. Obviously, we know what the situation is with Carthage. It's not on good terms. So I think we'll end the turn there and then see how this plays out. I would expect Carthage to declare war on us soon, if experience goes like it was before, so we'll see how that develops. Okay, let's see what's happened here. So we've got the forces who my enemy struck before retreated to Valathri to protect that post, so we'll see what happens when we go into battle with them in a second. The 3 Astati have been recruited in the Julia Italica Legion. We've got my Admiral gaining a household by looks of things, 5% enemy evading, sorry, 5% chance of evading enemy units, okay. Oh, and Athens have declared war on Epirus, so I'm sure Sparta will join them, or I think they already have joined them, haven't they? For my Sparta campaign, I'm already at war with Epirus, so they should be no more very soon. So, yeah, let's go for them. Let's go for them. Let's just take our spy in again. See if it can cause further damage. No, never mind. Just for you guys, just your your information about what I'm going to be doing with the army setup. Again, I'm going to try and keep this Rome obviously I'm not going to be textbook historically accurate, you know, all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to try and keep it quite accurate in terms of its army setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4 lots of Hastati eventually. We've got 5 at the moment, that's only for the taking of Elathri. But once we've got this research invested, we'll look at doing 4 Hastati units, 4 Principe units, and then 4 Triori units. And then that creates a nice diversity of units within each legion. Because obviously, if you know from the times of Rome, what they had was they had that mixture of units within each legion. They had a front line of Astati, then they had a second line of Principes, who were your more experienced soldiers, and then you had your Triorii, who were your veteran units, who were your elite units, and would literally sit back and hold their line until the time came, if required, that they had to go into battle. Even sometimes they didn't have to go into battle at all because of the Principes and the Hastati doing the work for them. But that's what I'm going to try and keep with this this sort of army setup until we can get the legionnaires going, and then I'll try and keep a sort of a quite accurate portrayal of the armies when we get the legionnaires as well. I'll try and keep it quite accurate then as well. We'll keep our velites as well. We'll try and have 3 units of velites in each legion, and then we'll get rid of the levies eventually, because the velites are more powerful in terms of missile damage, etc., and shots per minute, so we'll use them instead. Okay, so if you'd like that, if that's okay with you guys, please tell me. If you don't like it, you want me to change it a little bit, then I will definitely take that on board and I will change it if I can for you accordingly. So please do comment on that if you want me to change anything, or if you are happy, then please do so say as well. So let's do it. Let's attack Elathri and let's take out these Etruscan League rebels here. So let me just quick save it again. Always quick save it before battle, just to make sure the game doesn't crash, because I have seen it crash beforehand and we don't want to lose anything we've done. So we've got our general's bodyguard, Lucius Libo, our faction leader, leading the men into battle today, which would be good to see him in action. We've got the 5 units of Astati, 2 Velite units, and then 3 Levi units. And even though it is against us in terms of the strength of opposition, I don't think we'll have too much of a problem here, because they've only got 2 Italian spearmen, 1 Levy skirmishers. Their general unit will be quite tough, I'm sure, but then they've only got, again, Italian spearmen, 2 mob units, which are nothing, and then the 2 Levy slingers. So I think we're okay. I think we'll win this one quite, or hopefully quite comfortably. So let's go into it and see what we've got here. Now I'm going to try and keep, if you already see my Spartan Let's Play, you already know this. If you haven't, please do check it out. I'll put the description, also the link to Sparta in the description below. But I did mention in that campaign that I'm going to try and keep every Let's Play to about 30 minutes each, but then every 10th Let's Play of each episode of each, or say each episode, oh, so I'll start again. Every 10th episode of each Let's Play, I will do an hour special for you guys, so expect to see that every 10th episode we go through with the 3 Let's Plays we've got going. So yeah, do look out for them as well. Of course, playing with patch 9 as well, the up-to-date patch for Rome 2, which is great because you'll see a lot more optimization in the battlefield, and you'll see as time goes on that the AI actually in battle and in a campaign map are a lot more aggressive and tactical than they used to be. Patch 9 is a lot better now. It's streamlined the game a lot more than it was when it was first patched at the beginning, when it was released in September. It seems like a lifetime ago when it was first released in September. The state of the game now is like a different, in terms of some parts of it, it's like a different game. It really is. Okay, so lovely. So the weather's dry. We'll definitely attack with the weather as it is. So take our 5 units of Astati and group them over on the left hand side there. We'll again take the 5 units, the 5 missile units across here, take them in first to start causing some damage to their units before we then engage with our Astati, and then obviously we'll leave our General Libo, Lucius Libo, at the back, hopefully to give an aura of command to the battlefield and hopefully inspire the units, but not engage them if we don't need to. What I'm going to do as well, actually, when I think about it, I'm going to take 2 units of them and take them on the left flank up here. So they will come down at them in here while the main force attacks from the centre. So hopefully that would work. So let's group them into group 3. And then hopefully that will change the tide. Actually, I'm going to take the general unit as well as support. Put them there as well and see what happens with them. They may enter the battle very late on and engage the mob potentially and the missile units that they've got at the back. Okay, so start the battle. Let's see what we can do here. So let's bring our missile units across. Get them on quick reload. Get the Astati supporting. We'll leave them as they are on the banks. We'll bring them down a little bit actually, but not too much. We keep them out of range because they have at the moment got quite a compact unit there, a set of units there, because you can see the threat probably from the hill. But once they start breaking through the centre, they will probably bring them back and engage us in the middle there. So that will then give me the chance to strike at that point. Come on, let's go in, lads, quick as you can.
Glory for Rome!
Always with the levy slingers, they have got a better range than our skirmish units, so they are firing already. But once we've got our guys in there, it will be quite powerful indeed. Actually, here we go. We've even got quick refire on already, so this is going to cause a lot of damage hopefully to them. Let's zoom in and see what we can see here. Yeah, look at this now. Like rain on the battlefield. Look at this. It's like a swarm. No way they can withstand that for long, especially without any armour. Oh, look at these guys, they're falling like flies. Oh dear. Next lot. Oh, the mob. They will take seconds to destroy. What, cheer for your own death? I don't think so. Look at that guy there, how's he survived? He had a spear through his neck. He was standing there. Look at that guy there. Brilliant. Bye bye. I love it when you see the spears going to the units. It's just so funny how they react. And some of them surviving with spears to the necks. It's amazing. Right, here come the cavalry. This is when it gets difficult, guys. Okay, fire on them. Concentrate forward fire on them now. Quickly as possible. Let's get a... That's it. Wow, look at that wave come in. Lovely. Hopefully this will cause some damage to them. The more damage we can do to this general unit early on, the better, really. So. Oh, look at this. Fantastic. Keep going, lads. Keep going. I think once we've taken and damaged this general unit, we'll take our Stati in there to start breaking through the middle. Hopefully draw these away from the left flank.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Right, let's start taking the Stati in.
Quick march!
Okay, you stay in the rear, just to start protecting them and giving you a volley fire across the men, over the men, I should say. Okay, here we go.
The enemy general.
Oh, wonderful, excellent. That's good to hear. Right, engage. We are engaging. Let's go. Hopefully, this will bring in the Italian spearmen now to start. Here they go. They're starting to move. Stay here. Don't go too far. Hold the line. Let them come to us. Right, engage. Push now. Yes, there goes the spears. Right, so we've got engagement here, so this is great. So now we can take the two from the above, the two studies, and bring them to the rear. Here we go. General, you go in support. And yes, the spears, I forgot, that's it, they're called pilau, aren't they? The pilars that they hold in their reserve. Pilars were thrown in before, obviously causing a bit of damage to the spear units before they even engaged, which is a great tactic from the Roman army that they used. And now we are pushing through here. Look at this, fighting for Rome, fighting for your country. This is what I like to see. Look at the aggression on that guy's face there. Look at that guy there. This guy. He knows what's at stake. He knows what's at stake here. I love it. Come on. And we've got obviously the military, the missile units from the rear protecting us. Let's get them firing in.
Our general is under
Where's he
attack.
from? Oh god, right, okay. Always do this. Seem to neglect my general sometimes. Okay, get the 2 starter units in there.
General!
Riders!
These won't last too long, the mob, hopefully. But now they're panicking, you see. They don't know where to go. They're taking forces back already to try and protect the rear, but it's not going to work. It won't last long, this one, gentlemen. I tell you, this one, ladies and gents, is going to be a quick victory in a moment's time. And you can see it happening already. There goes the Pilar. Still holding the central. The centre, sorry, not the central, the centre. Oh, the bloodied, look at them. The bloodied from the war. The battle is very vicious, but it is necessary. It is necessary for the glory of Rome. This is. Okay, right, this is it. This is when it goes. This is when it's game over, gentlemen. This is when it's all over. In they go again. Right, here we go. We've got routing units from the rear. There they are, starting to rout already. And obviously we're pushing from the middle. They don't know which way to go. They're sandwiched in. Panic is starting to take over. Oh, it's all over. Come on. Let's finish this battle off now. Yeah, it's all over. Panic is hit. And it's victory. Lovely. Decisive victory. Excellent stuff. So we lost 203 men to their 1,230. I think my most effective unit was the unit of Astati up there. So well played to you. Well played indeed. So decisive victory, and of course because the Etruscan League are already Latin, we don't have to destroy their buildings. Their culture is already our own, so we can just occupy them. And of course their building chain as well is, well, I think the only building chain in the game which is the same as ours, so we can just occupy this quite peacefully. And we've got an increase in rank to Lucius Libos. Lovely. He will be, I'm sure, a great general of Rome as we go on. So we'll give him the commander trait, give him +1 authority as well. And trait gained, siege expert 10, -10% attritional losses when besieging, that's good to hear. Faction encountered the Legari, settlement captured Valathri, and then resource acquired wine. Lovely. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to wrap this first part up. It's been just over 30 minutes, so we've made good progress already. I think, you know, we've had a very decisive victory against the Etruscan League already, and I think hopefully that will be the same as we push on, and we'll give them no room for opportunity to push back. We will take them as quickly as we can. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the first episode. I'm very excited about where this is going to go, and I'm sure this is going to be another great campaign as we move on. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and check out my link below to my Sparta campaign, which I started yesterday. There'll be more of those Let's Plays coming over the next few days, and of course my third Let's Play will be starting tomorrow as well, so do look out for that. As I say, I hope you've enjoyed it, and this is WarriorofSparta saying goodbye for now. Ciao.